Hi, and welcome to Thursday with a Friend. My name is Lawrence, and I got a pretty special guest today. This was a guy that I walked by his booth numerous times at Joe Fest. Him and his wife, they have a booth. He does a lot of dioramas and not 3D printed stuff, but stuff that is actually carving into the foam, painting it. Looks marvelous. Right by the steps too, and I walked by it numerous times. And at the end of the on Sunday as I'm leaving, Ed and I were walking by and we stopped, and I started noticing this one wall, and it has a whole bunch of flyers for concerts. And if you guys remember, if you guys went to local shows, you remember the flyers that were always pinned up. And I saw a bunch of punk rock stuff, and I also saw not Ice-T, but Body Count. So we started chatting. I picked up a couple. I throw these up all the time. I need to get a few more. But anyway, I think I've wasted enough of your time kind of mentioning who it is. Anyway, my special guest, Robert from Action Figures Sold Separately. Thank you so much for giving me some of your time. How are you today?
I'm good, man. Getting ready for Christmas break.
Oh God, Christmas. I haven't wrapped anything. Luckily, my ex has the majority of the stuff, and she'll wrap most of it or put it in bags or whatever.
Yeah.
She just tells me everything else that I need to pick up or so. But I have a bunch of stuff that I have to get done, and well, I guess that's what I'll be doing this weekend. So, how's your week been so far?
It's good, man. Finished up a bunch of stuff for work, then started just working on stuff out here, doing what I actually want to do. Out of building stuff, watching Star Trek.
Do you actually want to come home and start doing all your dioramas and stuff?
Yeah, well, I work from home, but yeah, I usually get done about 5, and I'm out here by 7 probably. Work till midnight usually.
See, that's the type of stuff that I say. Like, I mean, I'm doing YouTube, and I know it's a little bit different, but it is the same. It's work. I enjoy it though. I know a lot of people are like, you have no life. I'm like, I kind of don't, but I kind of enjoy the non-life that I have at the same time. Anyway, let's quickly get into it. Action Figures Sold Separately. Where does that name come from?
Always remembered it on the boxes to the big play sets and in the commercials, I guess late 80s, early 90s. Action figure sold separately or action figure not included or whatever. I wanted something, I don't know, clever-ish to call it. It used to be Mudcats Minis. That's what my friends used to call me, was Mudcat. I was like, that's a little too redneck to be selling stuff under that name. But
it doesn't make a lot of sense for dioramas.
No, not at all. Well, at the time I was doing a lot of wargaming stuff, so it was like a lot more smaller miniatures and that kind of stuff.
All right. Okay. And again, we're going to get into that because you have awesome stuff. And again, the name it's very simple, which is good. I mean, it's long, but they're all simple words that people know. I've talked to Krusty O'Crow and a few others about, like when you have a name that's very difficult, if you're trying to create a YouTube channel, sometimes it's difficult for people to find out who you are.
Right.
Rather than have these like simple words that it's really easy for someone to type in and then you populate, or if they're looking for your stuff. Right. And yours, again, very, very simple, easy to find on Instagram and everything. And again, some really nice product too, but we'll get into that shortly. Before we do, let's say hi to the chat really quick. We have 21 people watching. All of Robert's stuff, his Instagram and YouTube, I shouldn't say all, his Instagram and YouTube are in the description. So make sure you head over there, subscribe to his YouTube channel. Is it subscribe to Instagram? I don't know what follow on Instagram.
Follow, I guess. Yeah.
I was never an Instagram fan when I first heard about it. Buddy at the gym was telling me about it. He was like, yeah, it's just people that just post pictures. I'm like, why do I just want to see? It seemed creepy.
Yeah.
Now I follow all. All right, quickly, we got U.S. Combat Dojo jumping in here. We have Beardy McBearderson, SCS Dog, GI Bro, who has the best guns in the community. There is Crusty Old Crow, who I have already mentioned. Joe Fan 84 jumping in. We have Action Figs, that is one of my moderators. And then we have, I know there's more people here. Machine Man is here. And then we have the other moderator, my first moderator, Matthew Maskins, with a. And see, like, if Matthew was going to do like his own channel, which he doesn't, he does Instagram, like Mamu Nestor, people are never going to remember that. But he actually has a reason for that.
Yeah.
I'll let him tell it one day again. Crash has joined us. As Crash is here, everyone say hi to Ken, even though I don't see Ken here. We always want to make sure we've said hi to Ken just in case. And then we have Men who's jumping in here, who as everyone knows, for this Monday, I'm asking everyone to send me, if you have them, a couple pictures of your childhood from Christmas, some pictures. Menhuza, he sent me some pictures last night, and I'm like, there's no attachments to them. I think you resent them, but I haven't had a chance to check. I'm like, I'm not that old, right? Like, I know how to use Gmail.
Yeah, I do that all the time, man.
So if I recently was doing a home equity loan, and I'm like, I get really anal about stuff, and I want to get all the stuff done like as quickly as possible, just so my end's done. And I sent it all over, and those loan officers, they're busy,
right?
And she's like, "You didn't attach anything." I'm like, "No, I know that I did, because I like remember, but I must have hit something and just totally forgot." So I'm like, "Oh, I'll get it to you." She's like, "There's no rush." I'm like, and then in my mind, like the rest of the day, I'll be like, "Oh my god, I totally forgot that. I gotta remember that.
Gotta get it done. Yeah.
Tony's Figs jumping in here saying, "Yo, Punk, Robert, and chat fam." All right. So let me ask you, do you mind me asking how old you are?
I turned 40 the day after Christmas.
You are young.
Yeah.
You turned 40 the day after Christmas. I turned 54 days after Christmas.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's a huge 10-year gap. Which isn't that huge now, but man, when you're you're 18 and someone's 8, that's a big gap there.
I feel like in the South, we're about 10 years behind on everything pop culture wise. So it kind of balances out a little bit, I
think. And quickly, Crash gifting 1 Punk membership. So you're going to get the
Welcome to the Creamery.
And that goes to Justin Booth, who I don't believe is in the chat right now, but I think it's weird that like you can donate memberships and you don't have to be in the chat to receive it. You just have to be like part of the community or whatever. But you would think that as long as there's somebody in the chat that isn't a member, that's who the first
prioritize them.
Yes. But no, it doesn't. All right, so you're about to be 40.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better. So if you think it hurts waking up now, at 50 it's worse.
It does. Yeah.
Where do you mind me asking, like, where you were born? What was your childhood like? Did you have any siblings? Were your parents together?
Yeah, I was born, December 85 in Clinton, South Carolina. It's like, if you know South Carolina, it's between Greenville and Columbia. It's a tiny town. No siblings. Parents were together. Grew up in the middle on a horse farm until I was about 13. Then we moved to the city, but the city was just, we had paved roads. Yeah, I mean, that's till about high school. High school, we could drive, so we could go, skate park, or we'd go to shows and stuff like that. But everything before that, it was country, man, country, and trailer.
I'm definitely interested. I'm definitely interested when we get to that aspect of that age, because, again, when I saw punk bands, I didn't see like Black Flag, Misfits. You have actual punk bands in there. You have actual skateboarding.
Yeah.
Again, this is where it may tune people out when we get to that, because I get so many people like, oh, not the skateboarding. Like, I'm sorry, like,
Yeah. No,
it's,
I'm with you. Yeah.
it's I could talk about it all day.
Yeah. Me too.
I could watch it all day. I would love to say I could still do it all day, but my knees go no,
Yeah.
along with a lot of other parts of that body. And it's odd that you say like you were born in Clinton. I was born in Clinton Township, so
Oh, weird. Yeah.
way different. We had
Yeah.
paved roads, lights, malls, all kinds of stuff like that.
No malls for sure. Yeah.
But now, do you still live in the same area?
No, I live in Augusta now.
Okay.
I
How
moved.
far?
Go ahead.
How far is that?
2.5 hours.
Okay.
4 hours ish.
And well, yeah, we'll get to that. I don't even know why I asked, other than I know that you live right by Joe Fest.
Yeah.
So it makes it nice and easy. So growing up, what was it like just being there as like really young?
And you mean like in a small town?
Yeah, like as a kid, like
Uh, Man, it was rabbit ears. Always loved movies. Like my dad loved movies. Pretty much a lot of, I guess, getting to the outside world outside of a small town. It was like this place called Movie Land. It's an old VHS rental place. Did 3 for 99 cent rentals. Spent a lot of time watching VHS movies. Played in the woods.
something
Played
kids.
in the creek.
That's something kids are never, not never, but so many kids are never going to understand. They're playing outside. They truly like come back when the lights, when the street lights hit. Although it sounds like you didn't have street lights, so.
No, we had street. I mean, we had electricity and like plumbing and stuff like that.
Well, I understand that, but but if you don't live in like neighborhoods, there might not be street lights.
Yeah, no, we live like right outside of town, but it was off like a highway down a dirt road.
See now I have like the picture of like Jack the Ripper times. Get the candles.
Yeah.
So what's the first toys you can remember playing with as a kid? And not what you fell in love with, but like the first stuff. And I always mention, I'll probably continue. People are like, oh my god, you say this every time. I would say like Adventure People, Hot Wheels, or Matchbox. But you, again, 85.
Yeah.
Your first memories may be stuff that like something we were in love with.
Right.
Remember like the first things that you like remember playing with?
G.I. Joe. I think my dad really liked G.I. Joe.
Okay.
So I got a lot of G.I. Joe stuff when I was like 3 or 4. You know what I mean? I remember him putting them together. I remember I got Snake Eyes. Ninja Turtles were the first one, and Ghostbusters, dude. I loved Ghostbusters. I mean, I still like Ghostbusters, but it's one of my tapes. Ghostbusters was, so I probably watched it 200 times. You know what I mean?
I feel like those the Ghostbuster fans are Ghostbuster fans.
Yeah, they do, man. They are immediately into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've gotten this argument with a discussion. Argument, people think you're yelling and screaming, but discussion that Ghostbuster fans aren't toy fans when it comes to Ghostbusters. They're cosplay guys. Just like G.I. Joe guys, like most of them aren't cosplay guys, they're actual toy fans, right?
Right.
And again, there's the finest when it comes to G.I. Joe, and obviously there are Ghostbuster toys, but I'm like, I don't think there's that huge crossover with.
They like replica props, and
yes,
like 1-to-1 scale. Like, yeah, that stuff's cool. But I mean, to each their own.
Exactly, and again, that's why I said like I don't think the Ghostbuster toys did that well for Hasbro. Now, you drop a proton pack as a HasLab.
Yeah.
At the same time that you have a Sky Striker and a Rancor going. Well, most of those Ghostbuster fans don't care about G.I. Joe and Star Wars. Where the Star Wars and G.I. Joe guys, there's a lot of crossover there. So those two were eating at each other, and Poor Rancor. Rip Rancor.
I'm not a big Star Wars guy, dude.
And but you did say Star Trek.
I love Star Trek, dude.
Yes,
All day till death. Love Star Trek.
It's one of those. So I like both, but
Yeah.
I'm not all about all the Star Treks. I
No,
love
I'm
the
not
Next
about all of
Generation.
it. Yeah.
What?
I'm not about all of it. I just finished a rewatch of The Next Generation, like everything. Then I started Picard today, actually. I haven't seen Picard before.
Oh wow!
See. Yeah.
Let's skip to the last season.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. I've heard it's hard to get through the first couple.
I'm trying. There was one. I want to say season 1 was like okay. You know, they hit the nostalgia with some of the people they bring back. Season 2, if I remember correctly, there's 3 seasons, right, or 4?
I think. Oh, I don't know. I think there's 3, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. The second season, just like there was stuff I went, ugh. And then season 4, like that's when, or season 3, I'm sorry, the final season is when you're like, yes, this was everything.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
it's worth it to wait.
Like when you watch Generations and you're like, all right, how are they going to do Generations? I'm not Generation. First Contact. How are they going to do First Contact? How are they going to get Worf onto the Enterprise? Right? They had to figure out a way, and they figure out a way, and you're like, that works. All right, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like the way they do season 3. Yeah, you'll be happy.
I'm gonna watch it, man.
Viper Scout says 3 seasons. Season 2 was time travel. Yes. But again, I watched them all. I didn't. Season 3 makes it worth it. Don't listen to Matthew. Matthew's all negative about everything.
Hey.
He only likes seasons 3, but it is by far the best. Anyway, so you remember G.I. Joe? You said your dad really liked, or you think your dad liked G.I. Joe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he liked putting them together. Honestly, all the sticker sheets. I know. I don't even like doing that when I do models now. Honestly, but
I realize why my dad hated doing the stickers.
Yeah, dude.
Now, as an adult,
so tedious.
I fully get why my dad is like, you know what? I hate doing this.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you kind of see it on some of the old vehicles that I still have, where it's like,
screw it, it's going here. Yeah.
Yeah. He's never gonna know if he cared that much. He'd do it himself. Yes, Matthew is not negative. He's realistic. I use facts and reason.
Sometimes, I try to do the same, man.
But sometimes you let facts and reason take the fun out of things.
I definitely do that. Yeah.
All right. So you said you remember G.I. Joe. It's kind of like the first thing you remember. What was the first toy you can remember falling in love with?
Turtles, Ninja Turtles, Playmates.
You're you're prime for that, right?
Yeah, 89. Yeah.
And you're just because you have Turtles. What else was big right around then? You had Batman, or this
89 Batman. That was big for me too.
Yeah,
way too young to be watching that. I don't know. It's a different time, I guess, but
way different.
Yeah, but yeah, no, 89 Batman. I still have a Keaton Batman up behind my little nerd shrine over here.
89 Batman is still my favorite Batman.
Yeah, Keaton, dude, me too. Always. Yep.
I can remember being the age of like, really, that guy is going to be Batman, and then you fully believe it when you're done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
No, Turtles are one of those things. Like, Turtles was after my time, and so I have no real connection to the Turtles. I still think Donatello's the best, but
me too. Hey, me too. Nobody likes Donatello. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like no one likes Donatello, and then if somebody likes Leonardo, everyone says, tells them, oh yeah, you don't even care, you're just a commoner.
Yeah, civilian. Yeah.
How can you dislike somebody that has samurai swords though? I don't.
Yeah, it's true.
That was after my time, but again, there's been so many iterations.
Right.
I feel like Turtles are a lot like Transformers. They're always going to be around.
Oh, for sure.
And
what 2 or 3 generations of people now. You know what I mean?
And Turtles is one of those Turtles and Transformers. They're that one property that they can reinvent. They just keep the same story. Where like, hey, they were mutant turtles and a rat raised.
Right.
Transformers is almost the same, but they retcon stuff. You can always go back to the original lore. Where Star Wars, GI Joe, I feel like all those always have the exact same, almost always the exact same story. I know GI Joe they've tried changed a little bit recently, but
Do you read comics like modern comics?
I do not.
Oh, okay. That IDW Transformers versus GI Joe is really good. I read it.
I hear it. I hear it from everyone. They're like, you need to. I go, but I know what.
Yeah.
But I know what happens when I walk into a comic store. I know what happens when I pick up one. Yep. Then I'm like, hey, what's going on with Wolverine? I really like him. And next thing I know, I'm getting $100 a week in comics that I probably don't end up reading.
I know, dude. Definitely been there. I've got thousands in the house. Literally thousands in the house.
Yeah, and I went down the comic road in the 90s. And I tried doing G.I. Joe later on, and I found myself picking up this book and that book. And I kind of wish, again, it's like being an alcoholic, and you're like, I can't drink because I know what it leads to.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I get
it. Allison joins in here saying Transformers were raised by a robot rat and learned martial arts in a sewer.
That's true. That's true.
Don't give him any ideas to do robot rats to transfer. Who needs Dinobots? You can have rat bots.
Mousers. There's a little robot. Yes.
Yep. I thought that the Turtle Motu was a great crossover.
I have one. I got that Leonardo. I put a bunch of Mythic Legion stuff on him. He's pretty cool. Those are cool designs.
You put Mythic.
On you're talking about the Ninja Turtle Masters of the Universe figures?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, 2 seconds.
Yeah, I the only one that I have and I actually kept was the Trap Jaw. Yeah. Yeah. I think they work really well. That looks good.
They're cool, man.
So what was it about Turtles? What was it about Turtles? Because again, you're in that age range.
I don't know. I guess the cartoon. I remember when the cartoon premiered. That's like an early memory. Just vaguely. I don't know. Marketing, honestly, probably.
Were there other toy lines you were into? You're talking about like early 90s, right?
Yeah, early 90s. Real Ghostbusters. And then I feel like Ghostbusters and Turtles were like when I was little. That's what I really liked. When I hit 8 or 9, Toy Biz, all the Marvel stuff. Got obsessed with all the Marvel stuff. Those terrible figures. Where they've been redoing a lot of those cards, but man, I got obsessed with those things.
Those are one of those ones, like, again, they were towards the, when I would be done. But again, as a skateboarder, and I've said this numerous times, like, we were already at the bottom of the social barrel. So none of my friends, I mean, again, one was into Star Wars. The other one ended up being a chemical engineer, a nuclear chemical engineer. Listen, we were already at the bottom. So the fact that I had my G.I. Joe stuff out, no one said anything. We walked into, I don't know if you guys have Meijer. It's basically it's a super Walmart before there were super Walmarts.
Gotcha.
You go right to the toy section and you pick stuff up or always just look, whatever.
Right.
So I remember seeing the Toy Biz, and I think people would always pick up, stuff like that. Or if there's a Batman that you liked, maybe you'd buy it. But okay, so you're not a Star Wars guy, but I guess that makes sense. I mean,
honestly, I liked it when I was younger. Like, I went and saw Empire when they re-released it in theaters after they did all that awful CGI to it. I don't know what year that was, but
that's 97.
Okay, so I gave up on it around then.
Yeah, and you figure, again, like, for me, like, Star Wars is right there in my prime.
Right. No, exactly.
Adolescence, where 85, like, you're born in 85, at the end of 85, so almost 86.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, what you're seeing, like, Star Wars is long gone. They're just movies.
Right.
And you're like, oh, they used to make toys of them. So when Power of the Force came out in 95.
Yeah.
You're 10 years old.
Hey, I'm sure.
Nothing.
I know I had a Luke and a Darth. Well, what was the dude from Shadows of the Empire on 64? Is it
Shazor,
Rendar? Dash Rendar?
Dash Rendar, Shazor. Yeah.
Yeah. Dash Rendar, I think. I know I had a Boba Fett. I'm sure I had a handful of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got Boba Fett right here. I got him right. Right here.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly, dude. Yeah. I remember those. Those figures were everywhere back then, dude.
And I remember like just searching these things down, and then I looked back at it for a while, and I was like, man, what a waste! It was a waste because we were buying 2 of each, one to keep in package,
Right.
realizing not worth any money. But a couple years ago, when we went and did the May the Power of the Force, and you start, doing a review of an old figure, I started going, man, I really enjoyed this time. Like it was way more enjoyable now that I get to look back at it and see it for what it was. And these figures actually do mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
I'm not collecting them. It's not like I have a whole bunch of them. But it was a lot of fun. And again, it's nice to take yourself back out of that. Was so important back then.
Yeah.
Quickly, Ultramatch jumping in here saying the Ninja Turtles are unique and badass. And that's what's crazy about Turtles. They're not unique anymore because we've seen it 100 times. But when you go back to the first iterations of them, it was something very unique that you're not really thinking about.
It was a spoof on Daredevil, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Stick and Splinter. Like, Stick's the mentor from the comic. I think it's a spoof on the Frank Miller Daredevil.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it is.
Todd C jumping in here. I remember in middle school, in home economics, there was a kid. So this is 7th or 8th grade. And he had the Turtles comics. And I remember seeing the cartoon, and that's how I knew what Turtles were. And I'm like, what is that? And he was explaining it. And I'm reading through it, and I'm like, that's nothing like what we're seeing up on, what I see in the cartoons. Again, like I'm not really watching cartoons, but still at that age, you go home and, you turn it on and, whatever was on. And then you see that and you're like, this is really gritty. The black and white was really cool, but sometimes there was, the red accents or the blood and stuff like that. I always thought that was really cool. So
yeah, me too.
David Jones jumping in here saying hello. But anyway, I don't, because I never paid attention to Turtles, Matthew. That's how I did not know that. He says the mutagen that made the Turtles was the same chemical spill that blinded Matt Murdock.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Now I kind of remember hearing that theory, but again, I don't know much about Daredevil. I've watched the cartoon, or I watched the TV show. I never was into the comics like that.
Yeah, see, I really like Frank Miller, or did a lot when I first started collecting comics, and he did some really good Daredevil stuff. But that's the majority of what I know about it. I watched that first season on Netflix, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going from you're in elementary school.
Yeah.
Now, did you have elementary school up to 5th grade, then middle school?
Yeah.
6th through 8th?
We actually had kindergarten through 5th, and then 6th grade was in its own building, and then 7th and 8th was at another school, and then 9th through 12th was a high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of the same, and it sounds like you maybe just didn't have enough.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like one extra school in there. Yeah.
But you get that 6th grade thing, and you don't have to worry about other kids that are older than you picking on you.
Yeah.
When you get into those grades, are you still playing with toys, or are you doing what most of us are doing, still playing with them, but we don't let anyone know?
Probably a little bit. I've always been a little shameless. I don't really know why. So I'd probably do it in the open. I got really into Magic the Gathering and PlayStation and Nintendo 64 and PC games. That took a lot of my attention.
It's funny that you're saying like you're starting with Nintendo 64, and the rest of us were like, we remember Nintendo, and then
I played NES too, but I could I actually could read the magazines and that kind of stuff at that point.
Do you mean Nintendo Power?
Yeah, Nintendo Power and Game Pro and Game Informer and all that stuff.
I
Miss
remember
Mag-
Nintendo Power came out. I had a subscription and everything.
yeah, I miss
Believe it or
magazines, man. Love magazines.
that was one of those ones. Even though I no longer subscribe to it. When I heard that it was like they were canceling it, I could just remember. I was like, "That's sad." Like it is a true generation. But you know what? They got rid of Trans World Skateboarding too, and I was just like, you see everything on the internet. So there's nothing special about going to a skateboard magazine, seeing that a new video is coming out, and then you're going to wait for it, and you're seeing some of the tricks that are being done. Now
Yeah,
it's all right there. We all
yeah,
know what can be done.
yeah.
But yeah. All right. So middle school, what are you doing in middle school? Because
Mm,
like you said you're kind of shameless. Are
yeah,
you transitioning out of the toys at this point, or are you still?
yeah. Probably that was about the time I probably got a skateboard, but I didn't even have a place I could skateboard because we lived on a dirt road. If that tells you anything, I don't know, man. Yeah, probably Tony Hawk took up a lot of time once that came out. Uh,
Yeah. Well, Tony Hawk came out when?
yeah, PS1. I don't know.
All right.
Probably what 97, maybe 98.
Was it that? I think it was after the 900, right?
Yeah, it was after the 900 because they put it in after like they'd already started coding it, I think, and they put it in the 900 afterwards.
Yeah. And I know that changed a lot. And it's
It did.
amazing to talk to people that have nothing, like they don't care about skateboarding, but they loved the Tony Hawk games.
That has to be frustrating for you as a skateboarder before Tony Hawk.
What do you mean?
Like posers, you don't think they're posers because they didn't like Tony Hawk. They didn't like skateboarding until Tony Hawk came out.
No, you know what? As much as I used to call people posers,
Yeah,
I think as I got older, I realized like you were calling a lot of people posers that just weren't good at skateboarding, but still
yeah,
liked it.
yeah.
And you turn them off by ridiculing them because they weren't as good as you, or
No,
maybe
for
didn't
sure.
care about it as much as you did. Um,
I mean, you as a 20-year-old though, that didn't bother you.
um, I didn't realize how many people were into it that
Gotcha.
weren't skateboarders. It
Ah,
wasn't until later on that I started hearing people talk about, oh yeah, man, I love playing Tony Hawk, and I'm like, oh, did you skateboard? And they're like, nope. And I was like, that seemed odd to me. It didn't bother
oh,
me, but it seemed odd.
I
But
got
then again, like people play first person shooters. They play military games that
no,
are
that's
not,
true.
that aren't in the military.
That's true.
Um, yeah. So Todd C said, yeah, I think it was 99. So
Okay,
I mean, you would have been that
13.
perfect age
Yeah,
to be catching that. And Tony Hawk 1 was still, it was fun.
yeah.
2 was way better because they added a lot
Oh,
of
definitely,
manuals and all that other stuff
definitely.
that I
Yeah.
really, I know I enjoyed and laughed at. And I'm like, no one could ever do this. And now I look at it now and I'm like,
Now kids
nah,
are doing that stuff, man.
it,
Yeah.
it makes no sense whatsoever. So as you get into high school, what are you doing? Like you said, are you really into skateboarding?
Yeah, but I couldn't skateboard worth it like at all. Like me and my buddies worked at Bilo, which is one of the only places in town we would skateboard around the Bilo parking lot, manual around, jump off the curbs. There was a skate park in the town over, but they built it. They built a bunch of skate parks. I feel like in like mid to late '90s, but the engineers didn't know what they were doing,
Yes.
so everything was gnarly. Like there was I think like an 8 or a 10 foot half pipe. Like who was using that in the middle of the country? Anyway, we would try to do that stuff and get really discouraged because we didn't understand that was way too big for us. But uh, we would do that, skateboard around. I don't know,
It's
listen to music,
funny.
play video games.
It's funny that you say that. So do you know who Dan Gilbert is?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Dan Gilbert owns Lone Giant. Or
Okay.
not Lone Giant. Uh, what's the biggest loan? What's the biggest loan company in the world. Um, Lone Giant wasn't the one that went out of business. Um, Rocket Mortgage and all that other stuff. Anyway, uh, from Detroit, he wanted to have a skate. He wanted to have the first skate park in downtown Detroit.
Yeah.
So he was friends with Tony Hawk. So he reached out to him, and then they reached out to George, the owner of Modern Skate, and said, "Hey, I want you to work with them." Lending Tree, thank you very much. Which is Rocket Mortgage now. They bought everything. Um, so Tony Hawk kind of like threw stuff in and sent it over to George to build this in downtown Detroit. Like it was all free. And George is like, dude, I'm not building this. He's like, why not? He's like, not everyone is you. He's like, this is supposed to be for beginners.
Right.
Like he's giving, not giving skateboards, but there'd be skateboards, not even to rent, but they could use, have helmets. Like no one's skating this. And he was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Like, yeah, no one's skating these ramps. Like these transitions are way out.
Yeah.
Like we can throw a couple things in, but this is for the beginners and stuff like that. So
right,
exactly what you're saying. Like people didn't know what they were doing. Some of them still don't. It's kind of sad, and I skate differently than other people. I get that, but a lot of the stuff is meant for scooter kids, rollerbladers. Just the way, because again, when you fall on a skateboard, it can go shooting. That doesn't happen on a bike, rollerblade, or the awful scooters. All right, so you enjoy skateboarding, which, and again, this is what I'm talking about. You said you're not that good, but you enjoyed it. It sounds like.
Oh yeah.
And see, that's why, like, I was never really hard on the guys that. I was never really hard on the guys that weren't good. I didn't like calling them posers and stuff. But I know
was
who
just
you're.
kidding, man. I feel like I came off as a jerk. That's not what I meant.
No, but I think we all. I think again, I know at times I did. A shocker to people, right? But I look back at it now, and it's like, how many kids did I discourage because you're whipping by them because you can do tricks, that are like second nature to you, and then you're the one that's kind of like you're putting it off, and you're not helping them out. And I hate that. Like today, I'm the exact opposite because hey, my time's come and gone. I'm glad I can still roll around, and if I can help someone learn how to ollie up a curb or whatever.
No.
There's one kid at the skate park now. I ran into him. He was trying to ollie up this little mani pad. I let him use my board. I stood on his board. And it was the worst board I've ever stood on. And I want you to just use my board. He's like, what if I break it? I'm like, first, if I haven't broke it, you're not going to. And second, I'm letting you ride it. So if you chip it or something, that's on me. And like fourth or fifth try, ollies up it. Kid is like so stoked. He comes back. I'm like, I'm done. Go ahead, ride it. He rode it for a little bit more. I helped him. I told him where he can go buy boards. His trucks and everything were good. Like a year and a half later, I'm at the skate park. He sees me, comes running over to me. He's like, I have been looking for you for the past year or so to say thank you. Yeah. I did exactly what you said. Turns out I'm sitting there on Instagram, scrolling through. I see the local skate park I go to. He now works there. They're wishing him a happy birthday. The kid's like,
awesome. Birthday. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
And I go in, and I hadn't been in for a while. I go in, and I'm talking to the guys I know, and I'm like, that kid right there, he's working now. I go, he's here because of me.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? I go, I'm the one. I go, I gave him my board, and they go, dude, this is the guy you were saying? And he goes, yeah. He goes, dude, that's fucking L-Dog, man. Like, they had no idea that I was the one. And to me, it's like, it's like so proud. It's like,
yeah,
there's some kid that I could have totally discouraged and been like, yeah, that board's a piece of shit. You're never going to do it. But instead I said, hey, ride my board, have fun. And again, that's where obviously I hope we differ when we get older, right?
No, for sure. As an adult, I realize the more people into hobbies and stuff, the better. It's the better it is for everybody. And like you said, it actually can help people in their life when they're younger for whatever reason. But as a pissy 20-year-old or a 15-year-old.
Oh,
Well,
it was
Jackass and all that stuff was hitting at the same time too. So you got that
yeah.
whole culture was blown up, like Big Brother magazine and like.
Oh, I hate Big Brother. Like,
Oh, really?
so
Okay.
this will tell you how I was. Like, I hated that. I thought, again, I'm straight edge. Like,
Okay.
I've never done drugs in my life. So
Yeah,
that,
not for you then, for sure. Yeah.
yeah, and I hate the movie Kids.
Yeah.
It let us, it put skateboarding and skateboarders in such a bad light.
I
And
bet. Yeah, it did.
I've
Yeah.
argued with people about this. And oddly enough, the guy that I do another show with, the TV Terminal, he was friends with Harold Hunter and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a hard time because I speak my mind.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a big fan of Harold Hunter. I wasn't. He was only pro, in my opinion, because he was only pro because of who he knew, and that's half of it. But
Yeah, I'm sure.
there were so many locals that were way better at skating than him. But again, I go back to the kids, and it discouraged me. And it discouraged me. It bothered me so much because it put such a bad light on skateboarders. Where I'm like, we're not all druggies. We're not all doing stuff like this.
Right.
I hated it. I just so it kind of leads you like that's kind of how I was like.
Yeah.
Well, the whole Jackass thing, as much as some of it was funny, that was kind of towards the end of my time of like that's all I was doing with skateboarding.
Right.
I remember more of Deer Deck and people not even realizing how good Rob Deerdeck was.
Yeah, he would. Yeah. Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah. And it's weird. Like, he hardly ever even talks. That's the one thing that I kind of bothers me. He doesn't really talk about it too much anymore, skateboarding. There's a few other guys that got really big and then they got into other careers. Yeah. I guess it bothers me because it's like I love it so much. But Rob Deerdeck's done so much for skateboarding, so I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Whole street gets his and
the
everything.
more people in the hobby, the better, you know. However they get there.
So Ultra Match says you never did drugs in your whole life. Well, you missed out. Yeah, I would disagree, but no, I've never drank in my entire life. I know it's shocking to some people, and they're like, you know, isn't that hard? Like, I've never done it, so I can't miss something that I never did.
Or do you do vegan, no caffeine, and all that stuff?
No, I got pop right here. I'm vegan.
Gotcha.
Listen, listen, I'm not into, you know, killing cows and stuff, but I have no problem. Actually, I had one for dinner today. To be
agreed. I just know sometimes that goes hand in hand. I didn't know if that was the deal.
Yeah, nope, not me. And I take Tylenol and Motrin. If
yeah,
you know, I'm not that. I'm not that guy. Tatsi says you're not missing out on drugs. Only time I say someone missed out on it if they're vegan or a virgin. I guess that can work. And again, to each their own. Again, that's
exactly. Yeah,
I have my reasons why I never did it, and again, I continue those reasons.
Right.
So, but in high school, you said you get into skateboarding.
Yeah.
You start driving.
Yeah. I was in marching band.
You were what?
Marching band.
Marching.
That kind of nerd. Yeah.
Okay, so you said you started going to shows, though. You said you had a car. What kind of shows were you going to?
I would go with my cousins. They were a little bit older than me. Against Me, I saw Against Me a few times. Against Me was a huge, still a big band for me.
Okay, so
those kind of shows.
So you started getting into the punk culture.
Yeah.
All right. What was it about the punk culture? Because I'm not saying there's not other cultures like, but there is something when it comes to punk rock, skateboarding, like you're in this very niche community that you all really think alike. What was it about punk rock that?
I guess my cousins that were a little bit older than me listened to, like I used to paint with them on the in the summers.
Okay.
They had like that early Offspring record, which Offspring, but and Bush and a lot of like alt rock and that kind of sparked my interest in it. My dad really liked music. of all kinds, and still does. I don't know. I've always we curse on here, right? Yes, no.
Yeah.
I've always had a bit of a fuck you in me, just in general. I don't know why, but that attracted me to punk rock a lot. Very much grew up around it like very, very Southern Baptist people, and there's a lot of I don't know, pushback against that.
Ultraman says Agent Orange was one of my favorite bands as a kid. Living in Darkness is a great album. Now, I was never a big Agent Orange fan. They had a couple songs that I couldn't tell you now, but I remember liking. But it was one of those, again, things were so different because you didn't have Spotify. I didn't have Spotify.
Right.
I didn't have that stuff. Everything was still on CDs or tapes at the time. So the band that I never got into, but I do remember them. Yeah. I think I've actually seen them too, to be honest. Yeah. So what other bands you said? You said Against Me was huge.
Yeah, NoFX, Rancid, all that like Fat Wreck and Epitaph stuff. Ska, I got into ska a good bit. I can't listen to a lot of ska anymore.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I hated ska.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I started to appreciate it a little bit. Like I hated the Boss Tones, and then I started getting into the Boss Tones. I'm like, the Boss Tones are actually pretty good.
Yeah. But like Real Big Fish and Mustard Plug and all that, I can't do all that anymore.
So Mustard Plug, funny. I couldn't stand Mustard Plug. They're from Grand Rapids here.
Oh, are they?
Grand Rapids, yeah. So they would play here. I was in Arizona visiting a buddy, and he didn't skateboard, but he's like, "You can use my car, go skate." I couldn't find anyone to skate. It's 95, I think. So I go back. I'm like, "All right, you going to concert?" Yeah, Mustard Plug's playing. What's the chances that they were playing? And I was so miserable. Fast forward to 2000, maybe 19 or so, 18. My buddy's playing. God, what's the other ska band? They wear masks, the Lucha Libre masks.
Voodoo Glow Skulls?
Yes, Glow Skulls are playing. They're headlining the tour with Mustard Plug, but because it's Michigan, Mustard Plug is gonna top bill. Mustard Plug played to like about 3 a.m.
Nice.
And I watched the whole thing, and I had such a different appreciation. They put on such a good live show. I think ska is one of those, like, sometimes when you see it live, it's way different.
Yeah, horns in general, man. Anything with horns sounds so much better in person.
Yes, that's because you see the fun that they're actually having when they're doing it, rather than it just being blasted in your ear in the radio.
Right.
So as much as like I have this love-hate with Propaganda.
Yeah.
But they have the song "Ska Sucks."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, you nailed it. But I definitely kind of disagree today. I don't hate it nearly as much.
Yeah.
So what was it about Rise Against? And when it comes to music, does music, like, do the lyrics and everything speak to you, or is it just the sound?
Oh, Against Me? I don't know. Lyrics, a lot of it. I got into some of that. I don't know. Some of those politics that they were into. And I don't know, the music, I really liked how fast. They were also from the South. I really liked how fast and how their recording sounded. I don't know. No production, just very raw sounding.
Okay, so and the reason why I'm asking about Against Me now is I really like their older stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when he transitioned, everything became about his transitioning, right?
Yeah, I stopped listening to him like the 2 records before that. But yeah, I don't like any of that new stuff.
And so, like, for me, and again, I'm saying this because, like, music means something to me. Like, obviously NoFX is a little different, but it has to resonate with me, because when I'm singing stuff, I want to feel it. Right. I felt like when she transitioned, the whole music style changed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't feel it. I understand it's what you feel, and that's awesome, and you should sing about it. But I always go back to those first albums, which I thought
are the best. Yeah.
just some great albums that
Yep.
that they were putting out. I've actually never seen them live.
Really, I've seen them. I don't know, probably 7 or 8 times, probably.
Um, them and I didn't get into Rise Against till later on.
Yeah, I don't really like Rise Against.
I like
I've
early
seen them.
Rise Against. They're one of the worst live bands I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've seen them before. Yeah.
Like a buddy told me, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, they sound awful."
Some stuff just doesn't translate, man.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't, and again, a lot of it has to do with the music, and again, I see sick of it all. Hopefully, one day we'll see him again, but I don't think so. I don't think Lou's gonna get better, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, but like the Circle Jerks put on a wonderful show. Pennywise when they come around, Bad Religion, all those bands like they still
Yeah.
put on one hell of a show.
Yeah.
And now they have a story. And of course, when you get to be older and you're kind of in their age bracket, and I'm starting to get AARP stuff. Joe Fan says, I don't care for ska. Ska is one of those like you either like it or you don't.
No, see, I like reggae. All right, some reggae.
Oh God.
You can't do reggae too slow.
Reggae may be the only music I dislike more than country music.
See, I hate. Yeah, modern country music that's my least favorite in the history of music.
See, I'm like when people will bring up Bad Brains. I'm like, Bad Brains have some amazing songs, and then they have some awful songs.
Right. Yeah.
Some of that Bad Brain stuff, man. It's like, it's so great, and then the next song, I'm like, this is awful. I wish I never heard any of this. So, as you're like in this teenage era, this teenage era, you're going to shows, you're skateboarding. Again, I could talk about this all day. Do you enjoy going to like the big concerts, or are you just like, are you a club guy?
We used to go. You make me sound much cooler than I was. Most of my time was spent bagging groceries and in marching band practice. But yeah, we'd go to Warp Tour some back then. I don't know. I've never really liked a big room, to be honest with you. I don't know. I like a smaller room. I always have.
There's something about, and again, not everyone feels differently. I think the only time I've ever been to like an arena was to take my daughter to. It's not for me. I went to the first couple Warp Tours, and I went to the last couple. And most of them didn't have that many bands that I really cared for after the first couple. But there's something special about being in a club, and you might be there for, there may be 2 or 3 bands that you like, and the singer, the drummer, whatever from the other bands are actually in the pit or just down there, and you start shooting the shit with them, right? And you're never going to see that in an arena tour. For a good reason too, right? They can't really go anywhere without getting mobbed. Right. And there is something about that closeness. Sure. And I'm not a stage diver.
No,
I have this really. I always had a fear that people would move out of the way, and then I just go crashing down.
It happens. I work.
I know it happens. I see it. It's probably why it's in my head. Ultra mentions, I hate to say it, Joe, but we're too old for that shit. I don't think you're never too old for the music. No. I am too old to go in pits anymore.
Yeah.
The last one I went into, some big fat guy fell and sprained my ankle. Yeah. It was for Pennywise. It was probably 15 years ago. Then I became that guy I said I never want to be. I used to always see that guy sitting against the back wall just watching. And I would tell my friends, I go, I don't ever want to be that guy.
I'm that dude all day long now.
And now I'm like, I'm so glad
Yep.
I am that guy, because it means I lasted. And unlike the people that go like, oh, I used to really like that band, when they're talking about whatever was popular, whatever Mr. DJ Man tells you was good.
Right.
Like, no, the music I liked, I loved. I liked it because it's what resonated with me to this day. And I'm that guy now. I'm the guy holding up the wall, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
A matter of fact, I wish there was like a stool that I could sit on in between bands. Get your back starts to hurt.
Dude, I worked. Have you heard the New Brooklyn Tavern in Columbia? It's not a very big room. It's like
No.
350, 400 people. It's like a punk and metal club. I worked there for like 3 years. I worked the pit for like a year and a half, like 5 days a week doing that shit.
Yeah, that's not good for you.
No, I'm a big dude, but it still makes you not want to go to shows at all. You know?
But I still see guys that are older than me that are like, they're getting aggravated with people because the pit isn't going. And even the bands are like, hey, dude, everyone's like 50 here, man. Like, calm down. Like,
Yeah. Calm down, dude.
it's different than 30 years ago when we were coming here. Like,
Right.
it's
Don't
the same
sweat on me.
people. And some of you are like, probably have replacement hips and knees and all that other good shit. Ed says, I thought you brought your own stool so you could see over the crowd. I'm not gonna lie, there have been many times that I've had to tap someone on the shoulder that
Yeah.
normally is not someone you want to tap because they may knock you out and be like, hey, do you mind scooting over a little? And usually they're so kind,
Yeah.
especially when they're looking down at you like, all right, child, no problem.
People in those crowds are usually nicer than the average group of people. They just look scary normally.
Yes, because they think we're all the same. Like,
Right, exactly. Yeah.
They all think you're doing bad stuff after the show, and you're like, I'm
Mhm.
just going home. Like,
I'm taking a shower.
All right. So, did you graduate high school?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to ask that because I once said after you graduated high school, and the guy goes, "I didn't graduate." I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So, did you go on to college, or did you go right into the workforce?
No, I went to USC, University of South Carolina, for journalism.
Okay.
Lasted one semester and just started chasing women and moving from that tiny town to Columbia where there's, stuff doesn't close at 7 o'clock. I just was a wild man for about, I don't know, 6-7 years. I went to college like 3 or 4 times trying to get a degree. I have a degree in welding. I have an associate's in welding and blueprint reading, which I don't use in the slightest at my job.
Okay, so you went to school, you got a degree.
Yeah.
But were you in the workforce then? Were you doing both then?
Let's see. I think I had odd jobs from when I was like 18, like coffee shops, and I worked at like a laundry place cleaning machinery at one point, and stocked third shift at Bilo in Columbia. And then I started working at that bar. And that's when I, kind of settled down a little bit. When I started working at New Brooklyn.
It doesn't sound like you were settling down then.
No, not at all. But I had a permanent address and had bills and stuff at least.
Yeah. So you're working, you said you get a degree in welding.
Yeah, eventually. I didn't get that until I was like 28, 29 though.
Okay.
Yeah, I just skipped around.
So during this time, are you like, what are you doing? Are you still going to shows?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're working at a concert. You're working at a
yeah. Venue.
You're working at a club, but
yeah.
Are you still going to shows? Because I know a lot of people, they start working, and they're like, I see all the bands. I don't care to go.
No, man. At one point, I was living in me and all my buddies from Clinton and like 5 other people moved in. You hear punk house. We had a punk house. We had shows in the dining room while I was working at that club at one point. Ended up collapsing the floor in the dining room. Yeah, it was just nothing but shows and music. All my friends were in bands. I can't play an instrument to save my life, but I love music.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, it's very frustrating sometimes when you're talking to somebody that is a musician and there's like two bands that are like almost it has the same singer, and I'll be like, yeah, they almost sound the same, and I'm like, oh no, the guitarist in this one, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like sure, his voice sounds the same.
Yeah. But yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so that's now during this time, are you collecting anything? Because
Oh
you said
God.
you were big into comics.
Well, no,
Nothing
you're
like
right. Yeah, I did. I started. See, when I was Walking Dead was an issue, I think 11 when I got my first pull list, like my first folder. So I don't know what year that was, but that's when I started collecting comics because there was no comic shops anywhere growing up.
okay.
Like I always loved that stuff. Like my dad had some comics, and I always loved that. I wanted to get into it, but there just really wasn't much of a way. But I started going to flea markets every weekend. I would stay up after I got off at the bar and go to the flea market, look for comics, and then go to that. I did that for forever. I've just stopped doing that the last few years. So comics forever. I'd carry even when I did barely had clothes. I had long boxes of comics and a dog usually.
But no, like you're not collecting any toys or anything.
No, not at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're doing this, you finally obviously go back to college.
Yeah.
You get a degree in welding.
Yeah.
Do you ever do anything with that? Because you said you didn't finish to 28. I mean,
Let's see. I ended up getting a job at a like automation and CNC place,
all right.
like an assembly line. Because I had a degree in welding, they let me work on the robots for some reason and the CNC machines. But I ended up figuring that stuff out. Did that for a while, but that's the closest I've ever used to it. And then, well, that's not true. At one point, I've had a lot of jobs, a lot of jobs, a lot of residences. At one point, I worked at a foundry for like 4 days. I had a fucking heat stroke or passed out and threw up. I don't know if it's a heat stroke or not. Welding this like freight container together in like 110-degree heat, and I just fell out and threw up. And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to figure out a way that I don't have to do this. So then I figured out, okay, CNC machines, foundries, I can figure something else there. Did that until I moved to Augusta. Yeah.
So what? Okay. So how do you end up moving to Augusta?
I got divorced. I'm remarried now, but I got divorced to the first wife. We were living back in Clinton at my parents' old house, trying to fix it up, and we split up. I moved down here because my parents were down here, and I just started working down here and kind of worked my way up to where I am now.
And so during this time, like you're collecting comics, like your
Yep.
first wife,
Yep.
Did it bother her that you collected anything, or?
That was the least of the problem.
Well, I'm not asking if that's the reason why you got divorced.
No, I know. No, she definitely didn't like it. I'd started with toys then too. I was collecting the Simpsons, the World of Springfield Simpsons stuff,
Okay.
and some Ninja Turtle stuff, some DC Direct before McFarlane got DC. These figures are terrible, man. None of them have held up. Bunch of random stuff. I'd go to the flea market still a lot. Get something else.
So so you end up moving to Augusta. You've never lived you've never lived in Augusta before this.
Right.
All right. So you moved there because that's where your parents.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So at this point, you are collecting, correct?
Yeah. Correct.
All right. Now, have you started doing any of your dioramas or anything yet?
No, I used to do a lot of like, I won't even call them comics, is being giving it a bit too much. I was doing like self-publishing little comic zines back then. I would draw. I had the digital pen deals, and then would do it in Procreate and print comics and stickers and that kind of stuff. I was doing that for a while, and then started doing during COVID. Started doing RCs, really tiny RCs, and then realized I like making the terrain more than I like the RCs, and then
Okay.
now it led me here. Yeah.
So when did you move to Augusta?
9 years ago.
Okay, so before the pandemic.
Right.
You get there before the pandemic, so you're 31 years old.
Right.
I can do math. So did you meet your wife pretty quickly, or were you there for a while before you met her?
I was here for 2 years before I met her.
Okay.
She was in Savannah. She went to SCAD in Savannah.
Did you say I used to watch Savannah Slammer?
Yeah.
It was like it was like one of two things that you would see on ESPN. That and that vert that one vert competition. Gators in it and everything.
Oh yeah, no, I don't remember that.
It pops up every now and then. I was telling somebody about it. It pops up every now and then. It's this vert contest. Look it up. You'll laugh about this. Look at like ESPN skateboarding vert contest from the 80s. And every now and then it will pop up either on YouTube or whatever. And I'll be like, why is my logo on? Oh, wait a minute. That's right. I stole the Vision Streetwear logo. But it's plastered all over. You totally forget it, and then I see it all over. I'm like, what the hell? Like what? I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's right. I have their logo. Not the other way around. So you meet her now. Are you into collecting at this time?
Yeah, I was getting more into toys more and more then. Because I sold off everything when I left, right before I moved to Augusta.
All right. How do you explain this to a girl when you're courting her?
Carefully. I don't know. I had a bunch of comics already.
Okay.
So she saw the comics, and then we were already together before I started. We were already living together when I started recollecting toys.
All right.
Yeah. More of a ask forgiveness than permission kind of thing.
So you're living together. You collect comics.
Mm.
And then one day you're like, honey, we have so much money. I want to spend it on toys that aren't going to be worth shit in 20 years.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So what got you into it? Well, first of all, how does she accept, how does she take it when you're like, hey, I want to start now you probably started slowly picking some stuff up here and there.
Yeah.
How does she take it if you get really into it? Like, did you get deep into it? Are you deep into it?
See, I just buy what I like. I've never been like, I'm going to buy a whole series of stuff. So it was never, or a whole line of stuff.
Who would do anything like that?
What's that?
That's crazy. Who would do something like that? That's crazy talk.
I mean, I still have an insane amount of shit, but I've just never liked collecting like that. I feel like I scratched that itch with comics, like filling runs of comics. Does that make sense?
It's the numbers.
It is
numbers.
It is. It's just marking off a checklist. Yeah, so much.
Classified was so smart by like, here's each numbers, and you're like, I gotta have it every single one of them. I mean, I would anyway because I love GI Joe.
Right.
But those numbers, it gets people.
Dude. Yeah. I've always steered clear of that with toys for the most part. But there was I tried to get all the World of Springfield Simpson stuff. And what else? Star Trek. I got a bunch of stuff that's easy to find, though. I mean, nothing that's like I'm going to have to drop a few $100s on something. You know what I mean?
Who would ever spend a few $100s on a toy?
Hey, man, to each their own. I'm just saying.
I ordered the Sentinel today.
Oh, really? Man, that thing is awesome, dude.
It's like, I'm really getting the X-Men 97. I pre-ordered the Apocalypse. I'm like, fuck it. You got it. I mean, again, it is a centerpiece. Now, how I'm going to center it, because I'm out of room, well, that's a future problem.
Right.
Although it's in stock, so it's not that much in the future. Matter of fact, if it ships tomorrow by any chance, and sometimes Hasbro Pulse will ship that quickly, it might even be here before Sunday.
Dude.
uh, Ed says, Puck, it might be past time for an intervention. Hey, as long as I can look at those accounts and know that, hey, everything that I am doing is paying for it, it works. The problem is I'm running out of space, and you know it's bad when you really start thinking like, I need to really think about possibly moving in the next few years to continue doing what I'm doing. See, I'm one of those people where there are some people, they love to collect, and then they just sell off their collection. For them, it is that chase. It's trying to complete something, and then they get rid of it. Anytime I want to sell something off, because I start looking at it, I'm like, I bought this because I liked it.
Right.
It sounds like that's what you're like. Like, I don't really care if it's $100 figure or if it's a $10 figure. If I like the way it looks and what I can do with it, I'm going to pick it up.
Right.
And then, I mean, there's some stuff. Yeah, there's some stuff that I bought, and like the Motu Origins, I love this stuff and I bought it all, but then I ran out of room, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not really into it anymore. And I sold the majority of my collection off, and I don't regret getting it. But even that, when I was looking at it, I'm like, I bought this for a reason. I bought it because I liked it. Not because, oh, this is going to be worth money, or this is what the cool thing is. I've never been, if I was that guy, I would have never been into skateboarding like a punk rock. Like, so as you get into it, your wife is now, how long was it before you guys got married? How long were you together?
I think like 3 years. We lived together like 3 years, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you started really collecting, were you not married yet?
We were pretty much married.
Okay.
I think we already. It was during COVID, so it was early on. Yeah, it was early on. So she just stuck with it. Yeah.
She's a saint. I met her. She's a saint.
She's very much so. I'm not a very easy person to live with.
Now, does she collect anything?
Not really. I've tried to get her to collect so much stuff. She just doesn't, man. She's not a very knick-knacky person. She got a bunch of the Lego Harry Potters. She'll do, well, that's her corner back there. And you can see there's a few Legos and stuff over there.
That's nice of you to give her a corner.
She's got half the space. Thank you very much.
She's got half that little corner right up there. Well, not the whole thing, just the one at the top. Not even the whole shelf, just half.
She's got 3 shelves and a table. Thank you very much.
I think like my ex, the mother of my kids, she doesn't collect anything. She has no hobbies, nothing. So she didn't understand. She came from nothing. So she didn't understand, like, we'd go places and I'd always run into somebody that I know. She's like, we can't go anywhere without you running into. I'm like, I grew up here.
Right.
So we live in a big area. So I'm always going to run into someone. Our kids went to school with people that I went to school with, people that I was friends with, right? You grew up north, then you were in Detroit. You didn't, you bounced around. Right. And you don't live in that area anymore. So yeah, you're hardly ever going to run into anyone. I still live in the exact same area. I graduated. There are 2,700 kids in our whole entire school. So you can imagine how big our area is. And there's other schools just as big in the Metro Detroit area. So a huge suburb area. So yeah, I'm going to run into people all the time. There's some people that I wouldn't remember, but there was someone at our kid's school, and Susan's like, he knows who you are. I'm like, I have no idea who it is. He was like a year younger than me. And then when I meet him, he's like, you remember I hung out with so-and-so? I'm like, you hung out with the popular kids. I didn't. And every time he's like, so I'm like, dude, how many times do I have to tell you I don't know who these people are? It's not going to change. Like, we're in 2 different grades for one thing, and we hung out with different people.
Right.
But All right, so you guys are together. You're collecting. She's like, I really hate this, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Actually, I don't think she's like that at all. She seems,
No, she's not.
honest to God, like she's at Joe Fest. She seemed awesome. Like
No,
talking to
she
her,
is.
and
Yeah, man. She's awesome. She's never really given me shit for it, but I mean, you know how that goes. You know how some of these figures cost, how much some of these figures cost. And it's like, that could have been whatever, a new fucking comforter for the bed, or you know what I mean, man. I just
I bought a new comforter not too long ago, and there's nothing worse than buying a comforter and being like, that could be an action figure. I recently had to buy something pretty expensive, and I was like, wow, that could have been like 4 action figures. Yeah, and Ed here is saying, yeah, your wife was awesome at Joe Fest.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man, she's awesome. She's been getting into 3D printing some. Like we're getting a 3D printer for Christmas, one of the like 4-color ones. We have just like a 1-color now.
Yeah.
She's like figuring out how to do the files, and she sells a lot. She makes little tiny records. Like I'll figure out a bunch of records to make, and or movies or whatever, and she 3D prints the little records and the insides. We do VHS tapes and Nintendo games and all that stuff on our
That
heads.
was some of the coolest stuff that no one
Yeah.
else, I didn't see anyone else with stuff like that. The milk crates with records in them.
Yeah.
And you had so many cool ones, and I remember I mentioned a couple. And I think you sent me you either tagged me in something. You're like, here. I forget what they were, but like here's a few more pumpkins for you.
Yeah.
Stuff I got to pick up at Joe Fest again, where it's like,
yeah, I'll make you some. Yeah, but I try to make some like niche. There's some, not top 40 stuff. Just
no, because you can let other people do that.
exactly. I got no interest in that.
Yeah.
But we still sell them, man. People buy the crap out of those on Etsy.
That's because people just want the record. They're not. I have a feeling a lot of there's people I'm sure that see Rancid in there or NoFX or Run DMC, something like that, that want that. But there's other people that are just like, I just want records in some sort of display, and it doesn't have to be toys. That's
true. Yeah.
People don't realize it's not just toys that are displays. No. There are women that have these doll houses.
Yeah.
That they do stuff like that too. Oddly enough,
we're not the only industry, man. That's a huge industry.
Yeah, we just don't see it because money. Yeah, we just don't.
Those things are so expensive, dude. All that stuff crazy expensive.
Yeah, we have the Henry Ford Museum. It's a client of ours, and whenever I'm there, when I'm at the school and I have to go to the bathroom, I have to walk through the museum, and there's like these 3 or 4 big doll houses that are so perfect.
Yeah.
For 6-inch figures. But those are not made. They were not made for G.I. Joe figures or Marvel Legends, all right? Although, if I was like if I was a security guard there, there would be some of those days that people would be like, what is that? Like, shit. Shouldn't have left those in there. I'd have the greatest pictures ever, and people like, isn't that behind some glass? At 3 o'clock in the morning when no one's here. So how do you get into what you're doing right now with all this diorama stuff?
I got into RC cars, like big ones, just I like the engineering of it and like the blueprints,
I hear that is a very expensive hobby.
Yeah, it's too expensive. I won't mess with it anymore, man.
I've had a few friends that they're like, you want to know an expensive hobby?
Yeah, dude. It's just everything, something's going to break, and everything that breaks is expensive to fix. And it's also a couple hours, and screw that, man. That's just too much. Dude.
Honestly, isn't that just a smaller version of actual real racing? Something is always going to break.
Yeah, pretty much. I have some cool ones, but I got into the smaller ones during COVID. And I ended up making a 124 like little rally course in our kitchen / den during COVID. Like all over the den. And I started like, oh man, I should make some trees or whatever to go in this median. Um, I started doing that, and then that took me down the Warhammer path. But then also realized Warhammer, it's also a bit of a money sink for absolutely no reason. Um, but those you can get minis that are cool and practice on those though.
All right, so your wife has got to have like she has to have a drawer where she opens it up every now and then. You're like, there's the divorce papers right there. Do
Nah,
I do I need when you
nah,
start getting too much? It's like, do you remember these? All I need to do is
nah. She's always supportive.
I just the fact that you said we made a racetrack in my
Mhm.
kitchen / den. Like
It was
so the
cool though.
kitchen wasn't enough room. Now who am
No.
I to say because I have action figures in every single room? Then again, I am a single guy, so I don't have to justify how I'm decorating. I just
Yep.
watch my ex go, hey, not your money. You got your child support. Don't worry about it.
Right. I keep all my stuff out here in the shop for the most part. I've got all my movies. I have a giant movie collection. It's inside. We have a library, and I have it inside, and my comics inside. But most of the stuff stays out here.
And what does she have again? Other than that corner back there?
The entire rest of the house.
I just like that you're like, she has that corner right there.
It's right there.
All right, so like what are the dioramas like? So how do you get into them? How do you figure out like, hey, like you told me you got into that, but how do you transition into action figures and seeing that there's actually like you can sell these and actually make, I'm not gonna say make a living, but I'm assuming you make some money off of them.
Yeah,
Again,
I made a little bit. Yeah. I did. Let's see. Got to 124 crawlers, and people make these little gnarly courses like out of foam and expanding foam,
okay.
uh, and you put like a camera on them, like a first person camera, and it's I don't know. It's the whole thing. It's all over YouTube, and then I realized, okay, that's just double 112. So I just started. I was like, why don't I just see what it looks like if I try to make something for these action figures, and just kept on and on and on. That's where I am now.
3-star here says, "What's up, Punk, Robert, and chat? I got some of the mini VHS
Hey.
tape and Nintendo games at Joe Fest. Those things are awesome."
Cool, awesome, man.
And Darren's a great guy. He's okay. Darren's an okay guy. No. All right. So now, when you look at this stuff, because I'll tell you what, I look at the. I don't have any, believe it or not, but I've looked at a lot of the tech deck. Not so much the ramps, but the steps and everything. Now the handrails are always seem a little bit too short or whatever. Did
Yeah.
you like kind of look at that and be like, we can convert that into, into stuff?
Yeah, I keep one right here.
Which one?
That's Coach Frank, or Jason Lee is Coach Frank.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can even use one, man. I've just always loved those guys. I always loved the deck art too, just the art on the decks for the most part.
See, I'm one of those people that always said like, there's nothing more useless than graphics on a skateboard.
No, I get that for sure. I can definitely see that. I just remember looking through CSS, the little catalogs that used to come. God, man.
As a kid, you're right. Like you'd see that artwork, and the artwork is not nearly what it is.
No.
Back then. Back then, it was something so different because Pusshead did the stuff. I'm talking about my time, obviously.
Right.
But all those all the Santa Cruz graphics.
Yeah, dude.
They had the graphics for years.
Yeah.
Now it was like, there's a new one every couple months. There's a new one. Nothing sticks around. How you snap a board sometimes within a couple hours of riding it. At least I did.
Do you have any interest in collecting like vintage boards? Have you ever looked
Nope,
into that stuff? No,
not at all.
that stuff's cool, man. But I don't know. It's a whole
So
different thing.
this is what makes me laugh. 3 star says Jason Lee, who I just recently learned was famous for skateboarding before movies.
It's a pretty good skateboarder.
He's one of the greatest of all time. I mean, again, you got to look at that time.
Oh yeah,
One of the greatest styles of all time. He was off the cuff. If you watch the old blind video days, as he was in Mallrats and What About Earl? Was it?
Yeah.
No, What About Earl?
Uh, my name is Earl.
My name is Earl.
Yeah.
Like he was the exact same. Like
yeah, it's barely changed his character in any movie or in real life. It seems.
And in My Name is Earl, he rode a skateboard one time.
Nah.
And it was like it's not even like a real board. It's just like I think it was like a banana board. He just rides down. I couldn't believe how many people had no idea.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few other guys that have been pretty good, but I think he's the greatest actor / skateboarder.
Yeah. For sure.
When you mix the two.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't really consider Tony Hawk an actor.
No.
I would consider Steve Barra a great actor.
Was that Bones Brigade were the stunt guys on Police Academy 3 or something like that? Yeah, David Spade.
David Spade can actually ride a skateboard, but the other guy, they said like he wanted to have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa has a ramp in his yeah.
Huh.
His kid wanted like on a ramp, so he built a ramp.
Nice. Oh, nice.
You know who else? Who has a skate park in their backyard? Brad Pitt.
Huh.
For his kids. I don't know how I came across it. It is a cement park.
Nice.
And I came across. I'm like, what the? So I looked it up, and his kids wanted they got into skateboarding. They wanted a park, so he had a whole park designed. And I watched. Then I never saw Brad Pitt, but I watched like a whole video part of these guys just ripping this thing.
Yeah.
And it's gnarly.
Huh.
So you don't expect that. Like,
no, you really don't.
You expect to hear like Tony Hawk and Bucky Lasek. You know, they have these big parks in their backyard, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
You don't expect to hear Brad Pitt, and you're like, but David Spade had like a mini ramp and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard him talk about that on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Tony Hawk, I guess, was too tall to play him as his double.
When he started off, he was the same height, but it took so long to film it, and he had this big growth spurt. So then they had to have Chris Miller. The only problem is Chris Miller is regular foot, and Tony Hawk is goofy.
Yeah.
We have Stu for lunch jumping in here saying salutations to a punk action figure, the chat room, and of course, hi Ken. Yes, I always say hi to Ken.
Hey, Ken.
So you're doing these dioramas. Are there any specific ones that you focus on? Like what are you collecting? Like what's the biggest part of your collection? I know you do some mythic stuff.
Yeah, I've been getting into those here lately. Let's see. X-Men, a lot of X-Men. That's like all I have there. A lot of Turtles.
You have a diorama for a 22-inch Sentinel. Asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. That may have bought one today.
You'll probably figure it out. Those things are so cool, man.
I have major issues.
No, dude. I'd have a fleet of them if I could.
I think you go buy some right now.
Yeah.
Depending how much money you have.
What were we talking about with divorce papers earlier? See,
it opens up that drawer and you're like, I know what's in there.
Is there a Sentinel in there? I do. Like, I went and tried to get like all the Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters and all the Batmans from the different Batman books I like. And there for a while, I was getting people who were played by comedians. I got like Bill Burr and Lenny Bruce and all these different, even Michael Keaton, just different stuff like that. Uh, what else? Big
Now,
into Street Fighters, video games. I'll get video game stuff, just whatever video game stuff.
do you create dioramas for the stuff you have, or do you create dioramas for like, all right, I know GI Joe is really big right now. Let me create stuff for GI Joe. I know X-Men are.
I just do whatever I feel like making, honestly,
Okay.
unless I'm making it for somebody. That's why I don't really like doing commissions because I'll just kind of start doodling and then make something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I've done commissions. Well, I'm doing some for Top Dog now, where they just tell me kind of what they want and the dimensions, and I just do whatever. Um, it's easier to work like that, obviously. But now I've been trying to, like, I'm working on my bricks right now,
Okay.
just my brickwork, and trying a trailer for the first time. Uh,
Tried what?
a trailer, like where I grew up. Uh,
Oh, dude, that looks awesome.
little country trailer.
Dude, that looks so awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I get the lights. I got that one wired and stuff. Uh, then there for a while, I'll do like okay. I want to build a bunch of fantasy stuff, so I'll watch a bunch of fantasy movies or whatever, and then kind of work on a bunch of fantasy stuff. Or if I'm working on post-apocalyptic stuff, I'll do the same thing. Um, sometimes it's I'll read a book. It's just whatever pops up in my head that I want to.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so there's nothing like you're just like whatever hits. You're not
Yeah,
like, okay, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of
Yeah, if
computer.
it's like, yeah, I don't give a shit.
And I think that's really cool. And again, like I bought that wall with all the flyers on it
Right,
because I saw that and it spoke to me. But I think it's also cool that like someone who may not know any of those bands, because people walk by stuff like that all the time that they have no idea.
right,
And if they're just doing pictures and they may have no idea, not even realize it, they see Ice-T and like, what the fuck is Body Count?
right.
That's the greatest band ever.
Yeah,
Can't sing half the songs, but
no,
whatever.
don't Google it at work. Yeah,
can't sing those songs in public. But like those are the type of cool things because people would be walking by that stuff.
right.
There's the one that you donated, for the punkathon. Like that was, it's awesome. You have the fire hydrant in there.
See, those punk walls or the walls of all the flyers. Those are all that club I worked at. All of that not supposed to look exactly like it, but it's inspired by the back wall where all the flyers were for the upcoming shows. You know what I mean?
Have you thought about doing one with sticker walls?
I have that.
That'd be
Yeah, we were
different,
talking about
though.
earlier with stickers, though.
Yeah.
See, I would want to do it where I made actual stickers, and I don't know if I have that patience, to be honest with you. Some stuff's just too small. I may try it eventually. I do love a sticker wall. I mean, my whole workbench is one big sticker, you know?
That's one of those things. I guess you could. I mean, you could print up a sticker wall where you're putting different stickers on it.
Yeah.
As long as you use like a nice gloss to it, it probably would work.
Yeah.
And Ed here says, Top Dog is a great comic shop.
Yeah, dude, they're awesome.
Yeah, we went there. Ed, myself, and Tony, we went there, and we just happened to run into Ronnie and Shark and a few of the other guys there. And it's nice big store.
It is. They're always done right by me, man. Adam that works up there, he got me that commission. Really, he does toy photography. He set up like a little diorama thing up there too. But yeah, they were nice enough. They They bought this giant glass case for like Mythic Legions and Spiro and Savage and Beast of the Mesozoic. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
To display all that stuff in Cosmic Legions as well. So I built them like looks like a fort, almost like a fortress. It's already up there. Uh, I built this. I don't know. You can't really see it, but that just guy
Yep.
is for the second wall or the second shelf, and then I'm building a sci-fi like corridor, ripping off aliens. Honestly, that dude
Now,
that
now, now, what do you like? What are your feelings? What are the feelings you get when you walk into Top Dog or somewhere like this, and you see like your creation up there?
it's pretty cool.
You know,
My my wife's making me take compliments and stuff better. I don't know. It always makes me uncomfortable to take compliments or feel good about it. To be
I
honest with
I,
you,
I
it is
understand.
really cool. It is cool. Yeah,
It's got to make you feel good. Like I
it
mean,
does, man. It does. It makes me feel good.
but again, there's also this thing being very humble about stuff, and again, as fast as something is given to you, it can be taken away too.
Very much so. Very
But to
much so.
walk in there and see, and again, not just like somebody bought it. Like again, I know you like, and I make sure I try and tag you as much as
Yeah, you do.
possible.
You do.
Um, and hopefully it sends some people over to your stuff.
Yeah.
So I try and tag you as much as possible. But it's got to be different when someone is buying it and then they're showing, then they're doing pictures with it,
Right.
rather than someone just commissioning you, and you're just again you're walking in. It's like they wanted me to do that.
Right.
It wasn't they just came by and they were like, hey, you know what? It's the end of the day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Kind of feel bad.
Let's back all this up. Let's make some deals.
I kind of feel bad now, like after we've
No,
got to
dude.
know each other and talk.
No, you do not feel bad at all. That's what I expect. That's some of the reason I price my stuff like that too.
Yeah.
No, what's cool? What was really cool? I did the Operation Monster Force display for Fresh Monkey 2 years ago.
So that
And
was the one.
yes,
That was the one where, like, they had figures inside it and everything,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, that was me.
So Baldy took pictures like inside of it. They
Oh,
let
okay.
him like I don't know how he did it, but I think he might have had a small camera that he was able to put inside.
It
If I
was
remember
modular
correctly.
too. It was modular, so it could all come apart for that.
Yeah,
Probably.
but he was able like they let him. I remember that one because that one
Yeah,
was
that
like
was cool.
it
That was
stood out.
cool. I got a little attention for that. What sucked about that, the day after Joe Fest that year, I had open heart surgery. Uh,
Ooh.
I had an aneurysm in my ascending aorta that was going to kill the shit out of me. So they cut it out and fixed it. Yeah, dude, I was sick. I'm just now recovering from some of that shit, dude. That was gnarly. That damn near killed me. So I didn't get to enjoy as much of that. But this year I'm doing a build for Spiro for AWOC, which whatever. But I'm excited to build something for their table. A lot of people
Yeah,
see that. A lot of people see their table. I like
and
those
they have
figures.
what
I like those figures too. And that dude's really nice.
they I'll say it again, like those toys, the AWOC toys. If you give it to a kid, they're not coming back broken. They
Yeah.
are solid. Like, don't give them the weapons. So, if anyone
Right.
has kids, don't give them the weapons because they're really sharp, and
Yeah.
some kid will come with an eye poked out. But
Yeah.
you're not gonna have to worry about wrist broken. Those things are made really solid
They
and
are.
a very unique look. Like for me, I think like that would be a perfect diorama for you because
Yeah.
you can kind of do either or. You can do a modern take. You could also do something that's fantasy with it.
Yeah. I started sketching some stuff up. I read through those comics they did and like bookmarked a few of those for reference. Started sketching a couple things. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna do kind of like a Ewok Village thing. Remember that old playset that they use for Robin Hood as well? I think.
I have it. I have one downstairs that I use for my
Yeah.
dreadnoughts.
There you go.
So at PowerCon, I think it was PowerCon, they had like a treehouse type. I'm sure Ed remembers it, and I didn't see it anywhere else. Like I didn't see it at Joe Fest, either or.
Oh,
It was
Spiro had one?
yeah, it was a really big. It had like all the figures on it. I know I have pictures of it too somewhere.
Yeah, I'll find it and make something bigger.
So Darren says, I thought your prices were really reasonable on your stuff. Stop kissing ass. I just wish I wasn't broke by the end of the show when we were talking to you.
Dude, I don't take offense to that, man, at all. When
I take
people don't
offense
buy
for
stuff
him.
at all, dude. Do not feel bad about that.
No, but that's, again, that goes back to being humble, right?
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Ed says he has pics that he'll send to you.
Awesome. Yeah, dude. That'd be awesome.
It's not a tree house, but it's like,
No, I'm curious to see it.
yeah. It was rather large. That's why I was surprised I didn't see it at Joe Fest 24 or 25.
You know, when I built that for Monster Force, it was just the one, like, they didn't want it back. They were like, you can sell it after we're done with it. I think it's more expensive sometimes to ship stuff or break even or whatever, because dioramas are expensive to ship, dude. And if you don't want them to break,
I would imagine. I would definitely imagine. I mean, you're obviously shipping stuff, so
yeah. Well,
I know you said like you were worried that it was going to go to someone overseas.
Yeah, shit, dude. I mean, I'm gonna pay it because for Christmas for them kids, but damn it, I'm trying to figure out like, all right, this guy, but it's magnets.
Oh, nice.
So you can just put it in a box, you know. It'd be a lot easier, I think.
Well, your wife was like, I bought the 4, and she was like, here. And she just kind of stacked them all perfectly, which I would have been like, and then like she did it. I'm like, yeah, that's a much smarter way than I would have done it.
Yeah.
And again, the only complaint that I have about with the stuff that I got from you is like, I'm not good at photography, so I need more so I don't catch the boxes in the back of my room, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I'm building some taller stuff this year
but
for that reason.
Yeah, but even when you do that, again, your prices are going to go up because it takes more time and more product to do that. And but you need to get more novice like us that are too stupid to do. I'm still one of those people that struggle when I'm doing stuff like this, where it's like, I just spend a lot of time posing the figure. I don't want to just get the upper half. Yeah. Like, what about the running pose? Like, I want all this in it, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Beardy McBurgison says, I made trees for someone once. I charged them $40 and it cost me $90 to ship.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I've took it in the teeth a couple times doing that and not realizing what I was doing. Sucks.
Like people that sell on eBay that, you know, they would buy something, they'd sell it for like $5, make $5 profit, but they don't realize all the fees that eBay's taking. You're like, wait, I just lost $3.
Yeah.
This, you know, this it wasn't bright.
Yeah. If your profits are so thin too, it's just working for free. Yeah.
But no, like you said, I really do enjoy all the stuff. You know what, Darren? Fuck you and your packing peanuts. I'm just saying that. And yes, he sends shit with packing peanuts, and you're like, why? There's a thing called bubble wrap. Yeah. I know how much stuff you've ordered from Hasbro Pulse, so you have all that weird cut up paper.
Like, stuff. Yeah.
So, do you mind me asking what you do for work? Can you kind of discuss it a little bit?
Yeah, I am a grant writer for a nonprofit here. It's for like homeless women, children, women come out of jail, women coming off the street. It's essentially like a drug rehab, but we can keep their kids with them, and then the kids get assessed by, you know, psychologists, psychiatrists. A lot of kids that haven't been able to do that before. I essentially write for money for them so they can run. I got like a $750,000 grant this year. It's the biggest one I've ever got.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I just write, essentially, fill out forms and write.
I don't feel like going to school for welding helps that very much.
Not at all. going to USC for journalism helped more. That and
Well, that I could see.
yeah, that and it doesn't fucking matter. But I scored really high on some like ACT and stuff. That helps too. Um, I don't know why, but you know how that shit goes. But yeah, I do that. Wife does something similar. My mom does something similar. My dad does something similar. We're all, all nonprofit people.
So you're doing that for paying your normal bills, and then you said you go down here and you spend a few hours. How much do you think you're like? How many hours do you think you're doing your dioramas? Like how many days a week do you think you're?
I usually try to do 5 hours a night, 7 days a week. I don't always hit that though. Trying to get you ever Malcolm Gladwell wrote this book Outliers. So it takes 10,000 hours to get to be a master at anything. I'm a firm believer in that. So I'm trying to hit 10,000 hours. If I can do it 5 more years at this pace, I'll hit 10,000 hours.
10,000 hours.
10,
I look on YouTube how many hours I put into YouTube.
Yeah.
I think
it seems to. I mean, it's pretty accurate, really. But yeah, once I get those hours, I'll feel. Then I'm really going to charge people for this shit.
You're making wonderful stuff, and I mean that. Like I would not. We walked by your stuff, and again, I told you like it was that, and then I noticed like, the quarter pipe that you did. And you had a few other things that you showed that I didn't really notice, because the main thing that you could see was that like dungeon or whatever you had for the Mythic Legion. Like that's kind of what stood out. And like you would see other things, and I know I walked by. The milk crate spoke to me because as a skateboarder, it was like the first. There's the parking block that you ollie over, and then there's the milk crate.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are like monumental things in skateboarding that you do, right? And anyone that's ever tried to ollie over a milk crate and landed on top of it knows it is probably the scariest thing ever, because milk crates don't stop, which means you continue to move on, not realizing the milk crate's with you.
Yep.
Yeah. 3-star says Punk did 10,000 hours of YouTube in October.
You did, dude. You were on forever.
Was it October? Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I think so.
Oh yeah, because that was the 36 hours.
Yeah,
that was all the Operation Monster Force stuff.
Uh-huh.
That may be the hardest month of YouTube that I've, or the most hour. I don't want to say the hardest. I was in a hotel. I was in a hotel room for work, pushing out videos because I'm like, I'm not here on vacation.
Yeah.
And the water was so fucking cold in that pool. I'm sorry, it's totally off track. I go down to the pool and I walk in, and it is so hot in there. I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. It feels like a sauna. I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. And then I touch the water, and I'm like, how the hell is it so hot in here? And the water was 77 or 78 degrees. I only know that because I had got a new Apple Watch, and it told me what the temperature was when I was in it.
Screw that.
I'm like, yeah, that's not hot. Mm-hmm. Once your body got used to it, then you were fine.
Yeah,
but I'm just down there by myself, just swimming, Club Tarkin it alone. So where do you see yourself going with this? Do you want to turn this into a full-time job? Do you think that you have the ability to?
I don't know. I don't know if I have the ability to. I need health insurance. It's really hard to have health insurance and be an artist, honestly, or a full-time artist. I don't know. I want to get really, really good at it, and then like my next show I'm doing is in Asheville at like a designer toy art deal. I want to try to get more of those like designer expos and that kind of shit.
So not just toy stuff. You want to?
No, I want to kind of spread out some. Well, it's awesome with the toy stuff, but Joe Fest, I'm only going to sell to the same, I don't know, 30 people and people only have so much space. You know what I mean?
I have no
Like,
idea what you mean.
they're not going to buy a 3 foot diorama every year, or I doubt it. But I've started running into that. I've noticed, like people I've made sales to the previous years, like, dude, I don't have space anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to spread out a little more to catch more of the market. But like this flyer, does the walls with the flyers, I feel like I could probably sell those at more than just toy shows, I would think.
Well, there's a couple things. First off, just so everyone realizes, as of right now, the Sentinel is probably going to be on the couch with me. That's probably where he'll be stationed, sitting on the couch with Roman. Okay, so here's what I have to say about what you're doing and like the stuff that I bought, and I can fully see myself getting more. It's that you use it for pictures,
Right.
and my whole, again, my whole thing with collecting, it went from, trying to complete the G.I. Joe O-rings. Now I know I'm never going to complete it, but I want to keep adding to it. But that transitioned into classified, which turned into this whole hobby, this whole
Right.
little side project, side business that I'm doing here on YouTube and everything. But it was first collecting the stuff, then it's displaying it. And I like to display, and I like to tell a story. No, every shelf doesn't have to be a story, but I like to have battle scenes. I like to have talking. Sometimes it's nice to have just some figures standing. But then I would start printing like walls and stuff just to make the background look better. But then when you start getting into photography, and I'm not great at photography, but I'm learning, I'm trying to. But I watch guys like Emerald Knight, Matthew. I gotta say Matthew, my moderator, get really mad if we don't say how good he is at photography. Ed, my other moderator, he doesn't really get mad. But like I realize like people that do photography, they have a bunch of different displays that they'll pull out. So that's, I think, a great, and obviously
That's
a lot
true.
of people
Yeah.
that are going to be buying stuff. Now that big diorama that you had with all the Mythic Legions,
Yeah.
that's sitting there like that.
Yeah.
That is taking up a big chunk of space where you told your wife, hey, you put your collection over there. And then she comes home one day and like, hey, what happened to my stuff? And you go, I bought this big diorama. There's nowhere else for it. But like with what you have, I can just line them all up. And then I do different pictures with different, different spots.
Right.
And like I said, I just need, like, I have the one with the door, and I'm like, it's too small for how I do pictures.
Yeah.
So I've tried like sometimes like putting stuff behind it, or
Right.
you should find a way to connect them all.
Yeah.
I have
with the magnets.
Yeah, I have the one where like you have one that has like the wood on the bottom, but they're all offset. So I can't just put it up against one of the other ones that I have.
That's true. Yeah.
They got to kind of like fudge it again.
That's
First world problems, right?
No, but that's a good point. Yeah.
But again, I think for stuff like that, I think you're always going to do well. But I fully understand your point. Like, how many of these people have come up to you and you said like, hey, oh man, I really love this stuff, but I bought 3 last year. I just don't have the space for it.
Right.
Or someone's flying,
That's a lot of it too.
I'm driving. So for me, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it in my car. Although I also got this big 3D printed diorama that Plastic Fantastic. This year I'm picking up stuff, some G.I. Joe O-ring stuff, like 2 big boxes. He's like, they're in about there's like two size boxes of the Dragonfly or the Rattler, he said. Like, that's great. Only problem is I'm going straight from Augusta to Orlando for vacation.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So luckily my ex, yes, I'm going with my ex, my daughter, or our daughter, and my ex's sister-in-law. But we all get along. They're flying down there. So I'm still driving back, but I can only imagine how much stuff I'm going back with.
Right.
After going to Orlando and what I may come away with. Ed says, no, we'll throw it in his car. He's too big of a deal to carry his own stuff. I was carrying some stuff. You guys act like I didn't carry anything when Michael gave it to us. I just had to have you guys all carry some of it. And Darren remembers because he was there too. But I don't think Darren carried anything because he's special. So what lines are you into right now? Like, what do you?
We're getting Mythic Legions. I think I'm gonna start get some of those Cosmic Legions. Those are really cool. Especially because I'm about to build that sci-fi build. That's kind of how I do, though. You know what I mean? Like that's how I tried to sell it to the wife too, and she just sees right through it. Like, oh, I gotta need you to go buy some sci-fi figures for this build. You're like, you can just say you want to go get sci-fi figures. But anyway, yeah, for that next, I want to get a handful more of those Cosmic Legions.
I love the fact she's just like, you just say you want it.
Just whatever. We've been together this long now. Like, just don't with the bullshit. Yeah.
Do you sell off any of your figures?
I haven't in a long time. It's about time because I'm starting to get like black bins full of shit.
Yeah, but if you're going out and you're selling stuff, what happens when you sell that Mythic Legion and all of a sudden, like, I have the perfect diorama to put out at a show, and I sold that figure.
That's true.
I'm just going to make sure you don't get rid of anything. So, when it comes to YouTube and Instagram, do you do anything on YouTube, or are you just kind of?
I started that not too long ago. I was going to try to do lives on there, but I haven't yet. I think you need 50 followers or something like that to do live, or is that just phone?
I don't think you need that anymore. It was that before, but I don't think you need it anymore.
Yeah,
we can get you 50 easily.
Okay, I think I'm like 46 or something like that.
We can get.
I think about just like throwing a camera on like while I'm working on stuff. I don't know if they might watch it or not, but
that's what I've told like Tony's Figs about his, his customs. I'm like, man, you're customizing something. You have a YouTube channel, record it, and it doesn't matter when. I guess if it's something brand new and you're trying to show people how to customize it, but a lot of that customizing stuff, people need to know how to paint eyes. They need anyone can Dremel out a head for a different size neck peg or to fix it so it has more articulation. Anyone can do it, but not everyone is willing to do it. But if they see someone, then they're more willing to be like, okay, I can go ahead and shave something around.
Right.
Clint says Tony is only on YouTube to win giveaways. Can't wait till next year. Hashtag rigged. There is someone really mad that thinks that I was. Oh yeah, you were in that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
He was in it last year too. Like that guy was in the comments because I went back to see who won the year before.
Yeah.
And there was only one person that I know of that did any type of content that won one of the 5 things that I gave away last year. And this year there's not that many
people, man. No, people are.
I laugh because it was like I don't. And Darren, Darren and Crow, I'm in a group chat with them. Darren's like, this guy does realize like you can just give stuff away. Like we trade things away to our friends all the time. I don't have to do. I wouldn't have to create something. I think I do enough lives that I could think something else to do.
Yeah.
Rather than spend time and
going through all that work to give it to somebody. Yeah.
Let me tell you, sitting there and putting all those names in the wheel of names is such a pain in the ass.
Looks like 100. Was it 200? 100 people?
It was 219 names. About 80 of them were channel members. So those I can just put into a spreadsheet,
right?
Lop off everything, cut and paste. All the other ones, I have to go to I have to go to the video that I created and go through their names. So I won't I won't heart anything. When I heart it, I know that I've put it in there. The problem is like when I'm highlighting the name, sometimes it doesn't highlight properly because you catch too much. So it's just a pain in the ass. So
Yeah.
I went through over 100 names the first day. Like the day before, I think I did it, and your neck just hurts, and you're just like, I don't want to look at another fucking name. I don't want to. I don't want to highlight anything. I just want this to be done. I should have started earlier.
Yeah.
But I tend to procrastinate on a lot of things.
I do too.
But no, yeah, I did see your comment. I saw a lot of people, and I don't think the guy was just a troll. That's what's kind of crazy. I don't think he was just a troll.
Yeah.
I think he really does believe it. And I'm just like, I don't like. I feel like I feel like I've built up enough credibility, whether you like me or not. I feel like I've built up enough credibility in this crazy YouTube world, or toy tube world, that if anything, people know that the last thing I do is lie.
Right.
Considering I've gone, I've lost my shit, and I know I shouldn't, but when someone spread lies about me giving out false copyright strikes and sending them to them,
What?
Yeah.
And
I went live and I had to show everyone my whole YouTube studio that I don't do this. This is bullshit. He's making this up.
Right.
Like you can't do something like that. Lose your stuff, like just lose your shit. Show everyone what you're doing, how you don't lie, and then turn around and lie about something. Because people are waiting for you to fuck up.
Yeah, they are.
And there are people that would do it, and some people have big enough fan bases that they'll look the other way and be like, "Oh yeah, well, see, look, it's like, all right, whatever, like, good for you." But I see what somebody said.
Yeah.
You can only show me your character so many times and tell me that's not you before I go, no, that is exactly who you are.
Yep.
But it's one of those things where, some people are like, don't let it get to you. It's like, oh, I see it as more content to talk about. It's comical to me.
Right.
And it's like, I could say, all right, you know what? I'm not going to do a giveaway then. Or I could be like, no, you know what? Everyone else had fun, but one person.
Yeah.
And I've asked, I'm like, I hope everyone enjoyed how we were doing it, because Tony and I were having a blast, with it. It was funny that he won because of what happened the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And again, some of these people, they met me in real life, and I said to people, I'm like, what you see, I may be a little bit more animated, but it's pretty much what you get.
Right.
I feel like when you have to lie or be fake, seems like a lot of energy that I just don't want to.
Exhausting. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exhausting is the word. Like, it seems exhausting to try and be someone you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you like who you are.
Right.
And I'm the person that, I always say, like, I don't have to have everyone like. There's a lot of people in the community, in any community. It's not just this community. Anywhere, they have to be liked by everyone.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people who's like, hey, if you don't like me, you don't like me. That's fine.
Yeah, I could give a shit.
Yeah, I don't lose any sleep. I don't sleep to begin with, so that's a whole nother story right there.
Yeah.
But are you seeing yourself doing anything more on YouTube?
Yeah, I want to try, like you said, do more lives of how I do stuff. I need to figure out a video editing program. I'm just so lazy about it. I just don't want, I really don't want to have to learn another program, but I'm going to. I keep threatening to. I bought one of those arms, like the big arms.
Do you do stuff on your phone, or do you do it on an actual camera?
I've got it on like a webcam I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people. Like I use iMovie.
Mm-hmm.
But the other one that everyone uses is CapCut. That's the one
CapCut.
that's yeah. That's the one. It's free. I mean, you can pay for you can pay for the service, or you can do free. That's why a lot of times you'll see a lot of those videos and you'll see CapCut at the end.
Ah, okay. That
What
watermark
people
it
don't
up.
realize is, and same time toys, if you're listening, you can cut that. Like you can go in and then cut that off of it. I know CapCut throws it on. You can go in and get rid of it if you really don't want it on there. Um, but yeah, it's it's just one of those crazy ass things that you can do. But yeah, I understand the whole not wanting to learn. It's difficult because
Yeah.
it's not your daily job.
No.
So I gotta learn something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ultra Match here says, I'd much rather be someone I'd much rather you be someone I generally don't like than someone I falsely like. Yes, exactly. And again, I mean that's how I've always felt. I'm okay with not liking someone, and I'm okay with someone not liking me. It doesn't mean you have. I mean, again, we're adults. We don't have to be. You don't have to be rude to them.
Right.
You know, and there are people that I truly do. And they say hate's a really strong word, but I'll use it. There's people I hate. Like I just, I, and that's fine. I don't like.
Yeah.
We can all be in the same space and not talk.
Yeah.
Just walk by each other, and you don't have to nod. You don't have to acknowledge that they're there. Just acknowledge that they're there, so you don't bump into them and start a fight. And
Yeah.
but again, no one wants to see 50-year-olds fight.
No. Well, I don't know. Let's go after it. I just on Instagram. There's a handful of people I'm not a huge fan of on Instagram. I just block them. People just say shit for no reason.
So, this is what's funny. This guy right here, he's one of the biggest culprits for me. I've never seen anyone that can consume more toy tubing than this guy, my moderator. But I get people that send me stuff. Hey, did you see what so and so said? Hey, this person mentioned you, right? And I'm like, I don't watch their stuff, so I don't know.
Right.
Then they'll send it to me, and even though whether I watch it or not, it's there. So YouTube is like, the next 3 weeks, they're fucking showing it to me, and I'm like, I don't watch this person for a reason. I don't subscribe to their channel for a reason. But one person sent something to me, and I hit play, and now YouTube's like, oh, you must want to watch all his stuff.
Yeah.
No, just like he probably doesn't watch any of my shit.
Right.
My guess is, he probably hates when someone sends something of mine over, and now he's like, great, this asshole stuck in my feed for the next 3 weeks. I don't really block anyone unless if they're really. I had to block one person on Facebook that he just really started overstepping his boundaries, and he wasn't getting the hint, like, I'm not responding to you.
Yeah.
And that was cool talking to you at first there. Yes, but I definitely do get blocked. That is for sure. But I have gotten blocked by a few people. And again, I don't attack people. Like,
right.
I mean, I'll make snide comments, but people make snide comments about me. I don't really care as long as you're not making up lies.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna get into politics, but it's kind of like when somebody says something about a politician they don't like, and they say something that they said. I go, they didn't say that. There's more than enough reasons for you to dislike any politician. I don't care what side of the aisle. You don't have to make shit up.
No, for sure.
I've done enough stuff for people not to like me. Just don't make shit up. Find something that I literally did and use that as the reason.
Yeah.
Yes, the show is always about me. Well, it still does have my name in it.
It's true.
But do you have anything coming up that you want to promote?
I'm gonna do The assembly required in February in Asheville, and then Joe Fest. I think that's all I've got coming up right now.
What is it, Nashville?
It's Asheville in Asheville, North Carolina. It's called Assembly
What's it called?
Required. I know that's a GI Joe con.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I just went to that and you were not
Yeah.
there.
No, it's yeah, no, it's like a toy design something.
Okay.
Yeah, Asheville, very bohemian. You ever been to Asheville, North Carolina?
No.
Yeah. It's a little hippie town.
not my type of town. Then.
No.
Stu says Punk always puts the cool toys on the top shelf at his local Target. Just a real jerk. I don't put anything on the top shelf. All right. Believe me. I am the last person that puts anything on the top shelf. I have a whole set of cabinets in my kitchen that go to the ceiling that if there's anything on the top shelf, it's stuff that I never plan on using again because I can't get to it.
Yeah.
And believe me, I've jumped for many, many things. And I'm not one that's too proud to just ask somebody and be like, hey, can you mind getting that for me? There's someone taller than me.
I keep a footstool out here so I can get to the stuff on the top shelf.
That's what I have chairs for.
Yeah, there you
go. But anyway, Robert, I want to say thank you so much for giving me some time. In the description, are links to his Facebook, to your YouTube, and to your Instagram. I don't want to give your Facebook away.
I don't have a Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I can't remember who I have on Facebook and who I don't have on Facebook. I've stopped accepting friend requests.
Yeah.
Unless if we've had like some sort of like actual interaction where we've talked and stuff. It just got to the point where I have too many people, not just from this community, but from other communities of people I don't really know, that you're like, you know what? I gotta separate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those.
I just deleted it off my phone and unfollowed everybody. I guess you have to have one with Instagram, I think. But I haven't been on it in, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah, I use it basically for the Punk with Toys Facebook group that pushes stuff out, and again, it's people post their pictures and anything else. No drama, no politics. There's too many of those too many of those groups for toys that people get into it. That is just I fucking hate. There's nothing worse than going in a G.I. Joe group and seeing it just completely dissolve into some sort of politics because somebody said something about Trump or Obama or something, and you're like, fuck, man. Like, there's other groups that I can go to if I want to read about this bullshit.
Right.
And 3 stars says, subscribe on YouTube. I was already following on IG. Let's get 50 so we can watch that customizing.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. Like, again, we're going to look at this on Monday and see what we can get you up to.
Cool.
There's easily, if you're at 46, well, 47 now because Darren subscribed. Shouldn't have any problem. But
awesome.
Robert, I want to say thank you for giving me some of your time. You're still a youngin', not even 40 yet.
Almost, dude.
I got glasses at age 39.
Did you?
Yeah. I went my whole life with my ex for a long time telling me
you can't see shit.
Yes. And I was like, we just need a bigger TV.
Hey, that's a good workaround for a big TV, though.
It didn't work. But anyway, thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Everyone, head on over there. Click those little links, especially now, especially on YouTube. I'll work with Robert so we can We can get him doing some stuff. Tony wants to do some more stuff with his doing, customizing, and even though he does painting action figures and
Yeah.
customizing action figures, what
Yeah.
you're doing, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So
To kind of show everybody diorama or customizing or something.
same with Gun Bunny, who popped in
Yeah.
here a little bit early. He's probably still watching right now. He does all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I follow him on Insta. Yeah.
Yes, and he does amazing stuff just like you do. So he can paint his Tiger Force stuff, and then you can do a Tiger Force wall for him.
I feel good about
it. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. We will see you guys on Monday, or if you're a channel member, tomorrow, Punk's Pit, 10 p.m. That way Matthew doesn't yell at me. Darren, 3-star, don't do your live, because we'll be on tomorrow. Anyway, Robert, have a wonderful night. Everyone else, we will see you next week. Take care.